In how many places you can provide the default member property for an attribute of any dimension? So this is one of the important interview question on SSAS, and when I was given interview way back in 2010 or 2009, I don't remember exactly, one guy stressed a lot of questions on this because I didn't know the answer at that time. So people, they don't leave us if you don't know the answer. So better try to know where all you can give the default member property of an dimension attribute in analysis services. First, what is this default member property? So default member property, if you see, let me go to the browser. I have a cube with a fact internet sales information here and a couple of dimensions: due date, order date, and ship date, and products and sales order. So when I drag and drop the sales amount, it will give me the total sales amount that are available in the data warehouse or in this analysis service cube. But if I set a default member property for, let's say, color of this product, okay, let's say if I set the default member for this color attribute to black, then whenever I drag the sales amount or whenever I try to query, it will retrieve the results by taking this as filter. So it will take this as default value as, let's say I've given black, then it will give me only the black values. For example, if I drag and drop the black, let me drag and drop the attribute for now. So here, if I set the default member property of this color, then it will filter and it will give me only this 838411.95 when I drag and drop this sales. That's like acts like an internal filter. Okay, let's see how we can do that. The default member property is available for every attribute in the attribute properties. Let me go to the product dimension now, and let me show you the property where we can set this. If you go to the dimension, and let's say I want to set the color attribute with some default property, let me go to the properties of this color attribute, and if you see here, there is a property called default member. So a multi-dimensional expression that defines a default value for this particular attribute. So whenever you drag and drop the sales and whatever the measure, then it will filter this default value. Let me show you that. So you have three different options here: no custom default, that means no default value, and or you can select the default value from the list of attribute members, or you can write your own MDX expression. So let me take the value from the list. So black is the one that I want to take as default value for this particular attribute. And if you see, the MDX is taken automatically, product.color.black. Okay, let me click on OK. Now the black color is the default that I have set for the attribute color. Let me process the cube now. Okay, I'm processing the cube. It may take a couple of minutes. Okay, the processing completed successfully, and let me close this guy and let me reconnect it because I processed the cube. And now I'm dragging and dropping the same sales amount into this, and you can see this has been by default filter. And even if you take this one into the filters, the color by default it will be taken with black color because the default value is set to black. And if I check everything, then it will show you the full value. That means show me all the values. If I check everything, that means by default it will take the value that we have given. So the default value that I've given is black. That's why it was showing only black color products. So if I take this one out, and you can see it's showing only black color products. If you want to confirm that, just drag and drop the color attribute here, and you can see this is only black color value. So this is about default attribute, and this really helps in couple of MDX queries, couple of calculations. This really helps a lot. Now this is one place where you can give the default member of an attribute, but the problem is when you have a role-playing dimension. I think we discussed about role-playing dimension in one of our videos. If you have any role-playing dimension, and we do have here, that is date dimension. This date dimension is role-playing because I have only one dimension at the database level, but when you go to the cube, I have three different roles for the same dimension, date, that is order date, due date, and ship date. Okay, when you have any role-playing dimension, then the problem will come into picture if you try to provide the default value. Let's say I'm trying to provide the default value for the calendar year, and let me go to the same property, and I'm going to choose a member. Let me take 2011 here. Okay, so if I select OK, what people expect is this 2011 will be selected for all the 3 different cubes that has been added or created at the cube level. Sorry, 3 different dimensions that has been added to them at the cube level, that is order date, ship date, and due date. That's what people think, right? But actually it throws an error due to some conflicts. It will look for the dimension dim date and it will not be available here, so it will throw an error. You can see the level date object was not found in the cube when the string date.calendar.year.2011 was passed. So it will try to look into that, but here at the cube level you have only order date, ship date, and due date. Due to the naming conflicts or problem, it will throw an error. So this is the problem of in setting the default member when you have a role-playing dimension in your SSAS cube. Now how to deal with this? Where else you can provide this information or provide this default value? Let's see that pretty quickly now. So I'm taking out the default value here. Okay. Now we can do the same in calculations. You all know about the calculations, right? In calculations, you can provide the default value by altering the cube. That means if you go to the script of this, here, this is script view and this is form view. Form view, it's like you can add the calculations and so on. And in script view, you can write your own script here. Okay. Alter, how to write a default member coding here, in coding, in calculations. Let's see that quickly. Alter cube. The cube name is AdventureWorks DW something. Okay. I'm altering this particular cube. I am trying to update dimension, or in specific you can provide what you are exactly trying to update. I'm trying to update calendar quarter in this case, and what you are updating with, what property you are updating. I'm updating default member property. Default member property is equal to what value you want to provide for this default member property. I would like to go with 2011. So if you see the script, this is pretty straightforward one. I'm altering the cube, I'm updating the dimension of particular hierarchy, and I'm providing a default member for the particular attribute hierarchy, that is 2011. Okay. Once it is given, you just process the cube once. Oops, it is throwing an error saying that due date calendar year 2011 should be from calendar quarter, because I have dragged the wrong one here. Okay, let me take calendar year. That was the mistake I've done. Let me reprocess it. I corrected it now. So I'm trying to update I'll set some default value for the calendar year. So I should pick a value or member from the calendar year hierarchy. Let me process it quickly. Okay, process completed. And if I browse the cube now, let me reconnect it. And if you see here, when I drag and drop the sales amount, it was something like 88 something last time. Now it has become 781598, because this is the value of the sales amount when the due date is 2000 year to due date year is 2011 and color is black. If you want to confirm that, let me drag and drop the year from this part, calendar year, and you can see this year has total this much. And let me find out the black color products. You can see this is black color products of the year 2011, and this is the red color products. So when you drag and drop only sales amounts, it will filter those two, and based on those two default values, and it will get the correct sales amount, the exact sales amount after the filtration path. So similarly, you can add for multiple stuff. You can add for ship date. You can add for what is the other one? Order date. So this is how these are the two different places where you can set the default value. I was not aware of this alter cube querying alter cube calculation stuff. So I was stuck in that particular interview. I was asked a lot of questions until I was proved that I don't know anything about this default member. So keep in mind the default member property can be set in the dimension attribute properties as well as in the calculations. In calculations you have to write the script, and the script will be like this. Example 1 that I've shown you here is alter cube cube name, and you are going to update dimension, and you are going to give some particular hierarchy value, and default member any member from the particular hierarchy. So this is about setting the default member in different places. Hope you understood the concepts, and stay tuned for more videos on SSAS, SSIS, and SSAS Interview Questions. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.